Yeah, it requires perfection in contact, and that's basically all we've seen from that man right there, Kosti Novak. Perfection in overhand contact all weekend long. Can they ride that to a King of the Court title?
One of the most improved teams in the world over the past 2 or 3 years. For me, they're in the top 10 in the world after finishing 4th in Jurmala. Some great results. Estonia, beach volleyball on the map. Mark Tizar coming back from his hip injury. Get in there, my son. Welcome to the beach.
Yeah, and there's our boys from the Czech Republic. So steady, so consistent. And unfortunately for them, one of the things they consistently do is give themselves travel woes. And they kept that theme going here in Miami Beach, but they made it all the way to the final. We're excited to have them here with us.
Yeah, they certainly are. You talk about the Vikings, you talk about Qatar, you talk about Perisic Finer in that same sentence or conversation.
Yeah, and just Coach Andrea Tomati has done a great job with them. And how about these boys? Sharif and Ahmed Tijan. I mean, the 2 of the best entertainers in all of the sport of beach volleyball. They got synchronicity going, not only with their uniforms, but with their sunglasses as well. They got the orange shades on.
Entertainers in an entertaining form of the game. Bronze medalists at the Olympic Games. And out come 2 fresh-faced youngsters from Chile. They shocked the world in Tlaxcala last year, taking a 2nd place in that first Challenger event. They played in Hamburg, but they didn't perform like this. This week they've caught fire. They are absolutely cooking, and they're super exciting to sit and watch.
Yeah, indeed, and good performances and high finishes from those 2 becoming less and less surprising as they go along.
Drogate best blocker at the moment with 13 kill blocks in this event as well, which, considering his height, is surprising. Out comes the Lion! And for Sasha Samoilovs and Yanis Smedins, they had already booked their flight home for this morning at 6 a.m. But here they are. They said usually in this format, we go home on the first day. Not this week, fellas. You have been entertaining and you have found top form, although you were whinging about the rain, and you boys are both from Jurmala.
That's right. That's right. They are great ambassadors of the sport. One of the biggest personalities, of course, right there, and that man, the Lion King, Alexander Samoilovs, but not exactly brimming with confidence in this format coming in, perhaps, but they've played great throughout the weekend, kind of snuck their way in to this final. But one of the keys is taking the opportunities you're afforded and capitalizing on them. Will they be able to do that here in the finals against such a stacked field?
A hugely stacked field that we've had the likes of Phil Dowhauser here playing with Troy. Phil didn't make it through, but sign of how big this draw's been. We've said goodbye to the likes of the Grimolds in the previous round. That last moment gasping 2 missed serves got Samoilovs and Smedins through. Clemens Vikler won't be in the final. Hagen Smith had a great tournament as well. But starting at the King's End will be Sheriff and Ahmed talking to the Sheriff this morning. We had an interview with him for 20 minutes or so. Sensational character, but we are underway with Ahmed Tijan and Qatar. And Kosti Novak showing the line, hitting the cuddy, off to the perfect start. And if that's a sign of things to come, Rich Lamborn, we are in for a treat, sir.
Glasses are exploding already, Louis, right off the face of Kosti Novak.
Well, server onto the inside of Sharif, you can see, and he goes straight down the guts. And when they're going on the extremes like that, the dead center is open for business.
Indeed, yeah. Talked a little bit about that in the booth with him yesterday, how sometimes you just want to split the defenders. This time, though, our leader in kill blocks, as you mentioned, Vicente Droguet, gets yet another one there.
Yeah, look, he's 6'3", so he's not the biggest out here, but he is the leader of kill blocks, and he's also leading the way, or they're leading the way in defense as well. And that's fascinating because 6'3" and 6'1", to be leading both stats, blocking and defense, shows that they're not just about siding out.
Yeah, indeed. They're both high flyers. This is some jumpy sand, as we've talked about all weekend long, and they are certainly getting off the sand very, very well.
Come on, Yanis. Joust, and Mark Tizar gets Estonia down to the King's End. I'm interested to see whether Novak has the minerals to show us some of the flamboyant moves that we've seen so far. Don't think you can overhand pass a jump serve over back on one, Richie.
I don't know that you can. I love that expression of the minerals. See if you got the minerals out there, kid.
Too many Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah.
This time to the middle. And a swat, easy pickings for Sharif as he looks straight up to the commentary box and points his fingers down.
He knows some of the Heat players are in attendance. He's doing a little tryout, perhaps.
Yeah, he was saying that he was a basketball player before a beach volleyball player today, which I did not know. And high. And I mean, that's Tui swung real heavy on through the center of the court.
Yeah, Droguet got him a few moments ago, but he kept it high there. It goes off the top of the hands.
Hammer. But Perisic finer. And again, they've quietly gone about their business, haven't they? We haven't spoke about them as much as we have other teams, but they have been consistent. That's width and speed. Get up there, Ahmed Tajan, and hammer it away.
And two of the most dynamic athletes we have in all of the sport. That time it just slips through the hands.
How's that?
Sharif gives the ball a little kiss, hoping for some better karma next time around, perhaps.
Serve this time from the young Chileans all the way through the playoffs. And we did turn up the first day, and we said, these guys are in the playoffs? They're legit.
Yeah.
And not saying that other teams are not legit in the playoffs, but we just expected them to go the whole way through.
Yeah, indeed. And they have not disappointed, have they, Louis?
They haven't. And leading stats with Novak Tizar, who just a couple of years ago were just around the top 40 in the world. Now they got their way into the top 10, but because of the injury to Mark Tizar, he missed the back end of the season, and they've just dropped back to 19 or so. They're in a very good spot towards the Paris Olympics.
And like we said earlier, if you think there's 18 teams in the world better than this duo from Estonia right there, you're mistaken. And it was interesting to hear him talk about how nice it is. They feel like they've added so many tools to their game. When they find themselves in a little bit of a rut, they have so many avenues to get themselves out of it.
And that little slap Cuddy was sensational. Barbara Hermanova appreciating it, because we saw a few of them from her earlier on in the women's final. Oh, the Lion gives us the roar.
Dancing through life.
I think maybe we're complimenting ourselves a bit too much, thinking that they're looking at us.
Yeah, that's that is mildly narcissistic to think that everyone's looking up here for approval.
Yeah.
We don't even look to each other for approval, Louis.
True. We look to each other for disapproval, I'd say.
And find it in spades.
Yeah. Samoilov to Smedins, who just goes back over the right shoulder. Oh, Sharif. And I mean, this is why we love this format. It's so entertaining. You got 5 world-class teams just going at each other, hammer and tongs.
Barely missing that time, Droguet. They really go after it from the service line, the young Chileans.
Top of the net band, but on the wrong side. It's interesting because we've seen Kosti Novak go for that spin serve a little bit as well. The wind has really died down, though, considering what it has been earlier in the week. As Perisic Finer can't make it count. Second in the European champs for them in the summer, losing out to the jump-setting Swedes, Kings of Doha. We haven't got them here this week, but they're very good at this format.
Look at that play. Oh, how about that from Smedins? I mean, speaking of minerals right there, the minerals to do that. Unbelievable play, and maybe inspired by Novak a little bit is Giannis on those types of contacts.
Maybe, and his feet weren't overly stable underneath them, but he did have balance on the left foot and allowed his arms to push through to the target a little bit there.
Yeah, such big, strong hands. But a great play there from the Chileans, and they've got an opportunity now to get off the mark.
Low pass, high set, chip to the line, good spot. Looking for Andre Perisic, seeing him parked in the angle, and then just staying high.
Yeah, it does such a good job of getting a good, high, aggressive approach and still having the ability to look. Oh, little extra late push and the flex down from Vicente right there.
Yeah, and sometimes a smaller player has a bit of an advantage in those joust situations.
Yeah, indeed. You got a little bit of forward momentum as the attacker, and the blocker's just sort of static.
Well, 9 minutes on the clock. Remember, we're just looking. Nothing will be won in this round. Smedins, who was really admired by Samoilov in the previous playoff round for his jump serving ability, going full send from the baseline, does it again. Just don't want to come last.
Yeah, he was good, particularly late with that service pressure, right? Yeah.
That was gross.
That was indeed gross. Yeah, you thought everything was going to come back towards the line, but he just chopped it off late. Great serve, but a great pass as well there. Just rattles the hands of Big Dave.
Big Dave, we talk about this team a lot, but their progression from being in the qualifier Perisic and Schweiner all the way to being one of the world's elite teams is phenomenal. You mentioned Andrea Tomadis doing a great job. He even said to me earlier in the week, he's like, we've got more to come.
Yeah, indeed. They just keep getting more and more consistent, and that's really what sets the top teams apart, right? Everybody's talented, everybody's physical out there, but the teams that can do it week in and week out are the ones that set themselves apart, and they're quickly becoming one of those teams,
yeah,
the Czechs.
They absolutely are. As Samoilos is having a bit of a worldie, that out of system swing over the left shoulder was great, and
Giannis trying a little bit of flash there with the header, but maybe just hits the knob on top of his hat a little wrong.
I actually didn't see that the first time around. That's such a Giannis Smedins things to do. He does things like that, but won't come and talk to us in the commentary box.
Well, he does things like that, and surprisingly, that one didn't work out because we're used to even those odd plays being so well executed from Giannis.
Good pass from Novak. The tempo perfect. Back cross body is a good one. He shows a lot of the line with the approach and then tweaks it back into the angle.
Yeah, just does such a nice job keeping his shoulders square to the net and giving that illusion like it's going away from his body.
Smedins ripping away once more, whose aces in the previous round certainly made the difference to get the Latvians to the King's End. And well, yesterday was an interesting one. That's a great wipe, just moving that ball a little bit wider, looking for the outside hand. Latvians got through, but the Estonians only just squeezed their way through really in the semi-finals yesterday.
Yeah, indeed. It was down to the very last play of the final round to get their way through.
Let's go, Aravena Droget. Surprise team of this competition, not for us, but through the qualifier, yes. And I just like, do they call it swag here, Richie? Is that the word here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, you know, you say thick, but you spell it with a bunch of C's, and they've got swag in such abundance, it gets into the swagoo level, you know, which is kind of that extra level.
And there's no lack of swag in Miami Beach, that's for sure, apart from in this commentary box.
That's right, yeah.
Serve from Perisic Schweiner, fans are in, loving it, and the party atmosphere has been going the last 4 days as Perisic comes in, oh, what a swing. Almost opens up, looking like he's going over the left shoulder, buries it into the sharp angle.
Indeed, just finding the sideline. Neo impression right there, getting out of the way of that rocket.
Smedins. Straight through the guts, this time looking for the middle, and this is the sort of service pressure that he had in the playoff round that helped Samoilos Smedins go to glory. But Perisic Schweiner with 5:20 on the clock are the team who are eliminated if the clock was to stop now, but the service pressure from every team is on another level, Rich.
It really is, yeah, and that's a lot of what we've seen from Novak throughout this tournament is just pasting sidelines with that serve.
He has a little look for his partner, snap back into the angle. Once again, we mentioned it a lot, they're changing sides as well, so then Tizar was on the left side, went for the wide ball. Now he's on the right side, going for the back set. Same play, sort of, but just looking very different.
Yeah, and you can never feel comfortable in your block and defense against that team because they never give you the same look twice, it seems like.
Well, Novak Tizar at the top at the moment, 11 points, longest stay of 5. Longest stay counts if the scores are tied. At the moment, it's absolutely fine. Perisic and Schweiner are on the way out, but 5 minutes on the clock. We've said this more times. I used this phrase yesterday. More times I had hot dinners, but the last 3 minutes is where it really counts.
Yeah, it really is. And again, you don't have to win this round. You just have to not come last. So Perisic and Schweiner are at the bottom of the table currently, but with 5 minutes, all it takes is one good run. We saw Mel and Brandy close out the women's final with an 11-point run in the span of just a few minutes. So
that was
anything is possible.
Ridiculous, wasn't it? That was one of the best runs we've seen in a Queen of the Court final. As well, Latvia-Estonia ties are strong. The slow clap. How? Like, nobody. I worry about this because nothing is slow in Miami. So I worry about this clap, and how it's going to be received.
Yeah, difficult for them to slow down their party vibe.
Yeah.
To clap this slowly. Doing a pretty good job, though, it looks like, out there, Lou.
They are doing a great job out here with the slow clap.
Everybody make some noise. We will be
There we go.
Our MC doing a great job all weekend. Not an easy job at that. I mean, long days, whooping up the crowd, start to finish. I might need to do a little off-season work with him on that throwing motion, but in any event.
If there's one guy who could fix that, it would be you, Rich.
Yeah, he is crushing it.
5 minutes left, 11 on the board for Novak Tizar. Alavene Dragate serving, they need to get their way down, but if they can't start sinking some serves, it's going to be a long way back for them. But Perisic Finer the team at the bottom, so they are safe as it stands. Andre Perisic, chance from the right side. Can you, sir? Oh, Mart Tizar. Ooh, Mart Tizar.
Yeah, I mean, huge on that was Big Mart. Andre just slowed down a little bit and kind of went right into the teeth of Mart Tizar at the net there.
Lefty pat this time from Novak, and that's good setting from Samoilov because he's traveling backwards, doesn't quite have the ability to push his way through it, but his hands do all the work.
Yeah, he's really got some great hands, even from kind of those off-balance positions, like you say.
Samoilov's on the back set, goes away. Ahmed Tijan just sticks a left hand out. What a set, can you? Ahmed Tijan smuggled it through. Yanis Smedins is on net patrol.
That was fascinating, though, that he got that right on the net. I mean, such a difficult chance either way for Tijan, but to give his partner an opportunity, what a play from Sharif.
Fast tempo baby line. Samoilovs has hit more baby lines in his career than every other player put together.
Yeah, Droget does a really nice job of getting to that, you know, coming down, turning, and finding that ball. Such a difficult thing as a blocker.
And now actually have a chance to pull away from Jack. That's a grudge match. And the first grudge match of this final goes the way of Perisic Finer. Barbara Hermanova next to us in the commentary box.
We got to check Homer.
Yeah, there you go. Fingernails. There are no fingernails left.
There's white fingernail paint all over the box.
This Perisic Schweiner. They know all about the big moments in games. They know all about the big occasions. They've been there, and they're going to be very close to the podium. You feel at the World Championships, the Olympics, all the big events, and this will certainly be a test for them over the next few minutes. 2:47 with the last place going out. Touch from Kostinovak, turning, Mart Tizar. What's that face for, Rich?
You'll think that they'll only have probably one, maybe two more opportunities to get over there and score. Check, boys, but
yeah, I think they've got another opportunity in them.
yeah, at least one for sure. They're going to have to hope that Araven and Droget don't put too many points on the board. And Giannis continuing to unload from the end line.
I think that Schmedins needs to go out, dance salsa every single night before coming in here. You said it earlier on. I tend to agree.
I don't know if he'd like the accusation that he was dancing.
No,
certainly Sasha
been.
was.
No, I think he was talking about Sasha dancing. Bump Cuddy, Schmedins,
Big
get
chance.
on up.
Now this is huge here because Araven and Droget also won two. They need to separate themselves from Perisic Schweiner if they hope to stick around here. Minute 45, a little bit of a grudge match here, as you call it.
No shortage of confidence for these boys. Oh, what a little twizzle. Turns with the upper body, flips the wrist back to the line. That's high class.
Yeah, a millimeter lower, Dave's all over it, a millimeter higher perhaps, and Andre's on it. How about this? Oh my goodness. So they were only able to get one clear. Perisic Schweiner still have a chance, but it's going to happen on their next opportunity.
1:13 Tizar going on the backside again, so he's still hitting from the left side. Tries to take a bit of pace off, look for the hands, but the Sheriff says, not on my watch here. That's Schmedins. Jump served impeccably so far today.
All right, big chance, probably last chance if you're the Czech Republic here.
Can you? It's a serve straight down the middle, reverse play. They need a block. They go into the angle. It's been seen by Ahmed Tajan, and he goes over the top of David Schreiner, and that could be checkmate.
Well done, Louis. Well done, my friend.
I'd like to say that I've never used that before, though.
Look at that little crafty knuckle from Sharif over the top.
Serve for...
oh my goodness.
Oh, wizardry!
Now,
with the right.
Sharif told me yesterday that his right hand is dead. He never uses it, but he used it very, very well right there.
How's that?
All right, turns out to be another ace for Giannis.
I've got to say, Janis Schmedins has served fantastically, but it's time to say goodbye to the team from the Czech Republic, David Schreiner, Andre Perisic. How would you sum up their 15 minutes, Richie?
I mean, kind of like we always do with teams that end up at the bottom of a table. They just weren't able to find an offensive rhythm, right? They had very few chances, it seemed like, which is kind of unusual for them. Such a great block and defense team, and really such a great offensive team as well, but not easy to kind of come out cold and try and get into fifth gear right away.
Well, 12 points for Novak Tizar, Samoilov Schmedins 9, 8 for Sharif Ahmed, and 3 for Droge Arena. They make it by 1. None of that matters, though. The only thing that matters is that we say goodbye to Perisic and Schreiner, one of the greatest teams in the world at the moment, and we're just waiting to hear from the world-ranked number 6 pairing, who will be courtside with JB. Julius Brink, if anyone's wondering what that stands for, not Justin Bieber.
Jack Black.
Jack Black would be another one, that's more me. Yeah, it's Julius Brink, someone even more famous than Justin Bieber in our community.
Certainly to us, yeah.
And he's ready for us now.
Take it away, JB.
Boys, it seems like the first 50 minutes in that final were the most crucial ones. It was so tough to get your chances to go on the King's side. How do you sum it up?
Yeah, as you said, we didn't have many chances on the King side, and then when we got there, the opponents they had really good serves, so we had the chances, but we didn't use them.
Yeah, how did you see the battle with Chile? Was it the single battle between these two teams, you and Chile, or did you also have eyes on the other teams?
I would say in the beginning it was the battle among the 5 teams. Then pretty soon it turned out to be a battle between us and Chile. Yeah, and as David said, we didn't use our chances.
So it's been the first time actually King of the Court is here in Miami Beach. Did you expect to have that crowd, that atmosphere tonight?
I mean, not really. And also to organize event during spring break, it's really packed, really crowded. Yesterday evening, we were in trouble to get to the hotel because it was so many people. Yeah, we are enjoying the event. It's really nice.
So, any prediction who's going to crown themselves as the king today?
Tough to say. I mean, they are all the 4 teams. They have proven during the tournament that they are really strong inside out. They are really strong. But I would guess the Estonian guys. They are really in shape. They are playing really well since round 1. Yeah, I would say that they deserve to win.
You agree?
I would say one between Estonia and Qatar.
Okay, let's watch. Thanks for coming, boys. Great performance. Thank you.
Great guys, Dave and Peru, but not their day today. But a place in the final, 5th place as we go into round 2, 15 minutes back on the clock. Kiza Novak will start at the King's End.
Yeah, indeed. And now things get a little bit extra exciting because we'll say goodbye to the 4th place finisher at the end of this round, but that means our podium will be set.
Absolutely, podium will be set. Samoilov's having a great day as we have Novak. Oh, right into the Lion's den.
And he stares down the entirety of the grandstands after that block.
Get out of my den, says the Lion. Gets his hands on the ball, and he's had a great day, hasn't he?
He really is, yeah.
And they're a team where the jumper sand certainly helps them out as well. Like, they look high in the angles that they're hitting superb.
Yeah, it's always a bit surprising. What a great serve. Unbelievable just to get a hand on it from Tijan there. And then Droget with yet another stuff block. Yeah, just real quickly on Lion King, it's almost shocking that they haven't been all that good in this format because it seems so suited to their game. Great side-out players, great entertainers, but they just haven't been able to find the magic until they came to Miami Beach, Louis.
Yeah, they really couldn't. And
there's some more magic right there. Giannis, en fuego. En fuego, as they say here in South Florida.
Do you know what? I love having Samoilovs and Schmedins in these big games. They add so much to it, don't they?
What I love is the combination of the two, because you have the performer in Alex Samoilovs, and then you just have kind of like the quiet, steady, straight man in Giannis.
But then on the flip side, great serve. On the flip side, you get him away from the beach volleyball court, and he's a talker, Giannis Schmedins.
Well, absolutely.
And
great personality, great wit, great sarcasm.
Pat from Kosinova, well seen. Chile, oh, it's coming back on one. What a touch. Let's go, Chile. You deserve it. Over the line, no. Kristi Novak, no block, straight down the line. Second time of asking. Great rally.
Great rally, trying to be maybe a little too cute was Noe on that one. Kristi Novak knew exactly what to do with that. Chance for Qatar.
Lovely set.
Great set, and I mean, I'm not sure if there's a better finisher in transition than Ahmed Tijan. Just so physical.
Yeah, I mean, jumping-wise, he's 6'1", Tijan, but he just jumps out the gym, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does, especially on this sand here. I mean, perfectly placed serve from Noah.
Hubby and wife straight through the middle, 12:33 on the clock. You just don't want to be bottom of the barrel at the moment as Estonia get back with a serve down the middle, trying to take away some of the angles from Chile, but it's on two with Tizar, but it's only a knuckle. Reverse play, left to right, and it's a good read from Novak because the play was going left to right. The approach line of the spike was very straight on, but just wide anyway, just long.
Yeah, far from dire straits as we only have Samoilov Smedins and Novak Tizar on 1 point with 12 minutes left to go in this second round, but the Chileans would love to find some rhythm that we've seen from them offensively. How about that? Just scud right to the end line from the Lion King.
Count it.
0 rotations on that ball.
Good serve on the long angle from the Sheriff. Oh, Sasha wants a little bit of cover from Schmedins. Where are you, Giannis, he says.
And Giannis will quickly remind him that he was off the court chasing down the pass.
Yeah. The out-of-system pass that you gave me, partner.
Yeah, not a team that pulls punches with one another.
No, direct communication is certainly part of their organization. Schmedins will go again. They're moving around quite quickly. 11:11 on the clock and straight through the middle. It's a brilliant pass though from Tijan, who then tries to look to the line. Very smart before going to the angle.
Yeah, really good and aggressive approach from Ahmed Tijan there.
One-time Olympian Ahmed Tijan, remember Trif Unity played in 2016 as well, but the bronze medal really has changed the game in Qatar, and now they're firing up.
And a bit of misfortune for Chile there, because a great one-arm block at the beginning of that play from Droget.
What have you got here? Oh, the reverse jump bump. Diving into the angle on the Sheriff, but the Sheriff just manages to hit sharp enough away from the block there, I think.
Yeah, Martizar is very big up there at the net, but against the lefty, you got to have a little extra in that angle, don't you?
3. And Chile at the moment, who managed to just get their way through the first round, need to try and salvage some points. It's a standing float serve from Krusty Novak right to the middle. And yeah, your face said a few things there, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, that's an indication of how high up Ahmed Tijan is. He kind of hit the bent arm and still got on top of that with plenty of pace.
Oh, Sheriff through the seam this time. Schmedin's into the line, Samoilov's into the angle, and that, oh, maybe it was just plain over the top.
Very well could have been.
Not over the top this time. 6-3, oh, little stare down.
Playful, of course. Yeah, these young Chilean kids trying to get off the mark here, find a little bit of rhythm in their offense.
Well, Sharif was saying that that's what he loves about this game is the banter, the chat, everything that goes on around it on the court. And yeah, he's got to give as good as he gets, and I'm sure he will.
There it is again right there, 54% win probability versus 33% win probability for the Lion King.
Good width, slapped away from Martizar from Estonia. Can't wait to see how they go this year. Some big breakthrough performances. That 4th in Yermala was a big one. Is that another ace that I just missed?
Another ace, perfectly placed right up the middle from Sharif. That one just long from Aravena.
Janis Schmedins, who hasn't really put a foot wrong today.
Still on 1 though, so not comfortable, certainly.
Novak with a big data. And that's well caught by Rich Lamborn in the commentary box, saving Barbara Hermanova from a certain injury.
I think that's 4 in succession now, but it starts the count over at 3. Giannis rights the ship. What a big there from Giannis.
Oh,
how about that play right there? Moving to his left and able to crash forward to get that cut shot right there. Tremendous display of not only mobility, but just kind of volleyball acumen right there from Giannis.
Having a great day in the office, wide and fast, looking for the hands, but Martizar's feet are fast, hands are quick enough to get over and stop the danger.
And all Alex could do on that one is, oh my goodness, look at that. Aravena. I love it. Every time they get over, he gives a little side glance at, you know, if he stuffed you or if he just aced you. Just a little extra flavor from these young Chilean kids. Let's see if they can get going here. There's a good start.
Still won't go through though, because they're the last team to reach 1, and the longest stay really doesn't come into play until it's 2 or more points at the King's End. Oh, back line, Schmedins! Pick that one out.
Just playing the role of heartbreaker all weekend long with that serve. I mean,
how many of them have we seen today from Janis Schmedins? It's an absolute ace machine.
You know, it's funny, early on in this tournament, we saw Alex serving and kind of accidentally serve one under the net. And kind of midway through one of their longer rounds, he told me he went and asked Giannis, hey, you want a break? You want me to serve? And as we see one still traveling up, perhaps, from Sharif. So he said to Giannis, he goes, you want me to serve and give you a little bit of a breather? And Giannis said, no, I'll serve. He'll probably hit it under the net.
Well, Giannis was saying to me yesterday, he said every time he looked to Sasha to serve, Sasha was like, I don't want to serve because he served under the net the day before. And apparently he heard that we, were not overly complimentary when it said that he should get the beers in. Yeah, anyway.
So at least they were on the same page with who's serving for their team, and Giannis doing an unbelievable job for the Latvians.
Well, that gets them to 3, which is enough for the time being. This is a big moment now for Novak Tizar. That's a real good quick arm to the line. That's not an easy swing, Richard.
Not at all. He picked that off at a very high point, was able to kind of wrap his hand around that to go down the line.
You'll be very quick with the arm when you go down those avenues.
Indeed.
Oh, deep into the corner. That's a more traditional play for Estonia. We haven't seen many of those.
The traditional is very untraditional for the Estonians, but great swing nonetheless from.
Set inside, lefty jab to the line. I don't know if you know what was going on there. Always expect the unexpected, but at the same time,
Yeah, that was maybe, we'll call it overly creative.
yes. Really good width. The set was there. The width was to try and force a little bit of space to the line. The line was open, but the execution slightly out.
Indeed, yeah, just kind of over-rotated a little bit, did Giannis. And as we hit the 5-minute timeout, I mean, nobody's out of reach. We got 6, 4, 3, and 1. But Araven and Droget are at the bottom looking up.
Never short of entertainment. 6, 4, 3, 1, the longest stay. Well, it's not in play at the moment, but it might become crunch time as we have some exciting news for everybody today. Well, the king and queen of the court format is progressing unbelievably well. This week, we're in Miami Beach, Florida, paradise over spring break. The first time we have been here since 2018. But then after that, Richie, we are back to Hamburg where we were last year.
Hopefully my bags won't make it with me this time. We shall see, but it's a beautiful city in any case.
Very beautiful city, and well, we're in the Rotterdam and then to St. Pauli last year, but then we move on to a big one in September. The World Cup, the first ever World Cup of King of the Court in Rotterdam. A 6-day feast before heading back to Brazil.
Yeah, Holland, the birthplace of this format. Certainly in the home base of Sportworks, the wonderful company led by Wilco Nyland that puts this on. And this expanding calendar wrapping up this year in Qatar in December. What a series, Louis.
It is a great series. Miami, Hamburg, Rotterdam, Brazil, Doha. They're doing everything they said they would. More events every year, and the quality of every event is up there with the best that I have ever been to. And the atmosphere today is a special one. Finals day on Sunday, packed grandstand, Miami Beach, spring break, Rich Lamble.
Yeah, much like we talk about with a lot of these teams adding tools to their toolkit, the Sportworks team, Wilco Nyland and his group, just keep adding little things to each of these events that make them better and better and better each time.
They added 2 immense tools to their commentary box.
very, very nicely done, Lou.
So there, that's us. We're
one enormous tool and then his taller, stronger sidekick.
Yeah, we're underway. Back to the action. Hammer into the sideline, or the wrong side of the sideline for Schmedins. Service is incoming from Chile because the story is they need to try and find some points. The red dot's next to their name, so almost a big one. Oh, Ahmed Tajan, give him the eyes, big fella.
That's right. When you get a stuff and you stare people down, get ready for it to come back your way when they feast right by you.
And this is it. The showmanship that comes with this format is another level. You just don't see this anywhere else.
Yeah, and kind of the international camaraderie is so fun to watch as well, right? Everybody friendly out there, having a great time, entertaining the crowd. And I mean, it's a serve fest, it's a stuff fest right now in this second round of the men's final.
Well, Smoilovs and Schmedins serving and blocking their way to glory, and a podium here would be a fantastic result for them as they did fancy another big block in the angle. How about we all just dive in angle for the next 5 minutes or so and see what happens?
Yeah, all these players are going to need to, I don't know, reacquaint themselves with their line swings because the angle appears to be closed.
Yeah.
Except on that one. Now these some important side outs for the young Chilean boys.
Dive back line. This time from Sharif, and still the team in blue have the red dot next to their name, but not now, surely. No, still now. They're still out on the longest stay rule, so this is probably the biggest side out of the day. Janis Schmedins is serving belters from the back line, and it's another colossal serve from Schmedins, but they're in system. Line's open.
Line is open. The trend of diving angle continued at the net with the Lion King, but Vicente saw it well and thumped that line. Noah with a chance.
Yeah, Noe with a beautiful pass.
How about that? I love how he kind of floats to his right, and he can kind of chop that line like we see him do so often, but that little knuckle pokey into the angle, a winner as well.
They're so good, Flamboyant. And this is, for a team who are 20-21, you're in these big moments with 2 minutes left on the clock, and they're thriving.
Thriving, yeah. We talk about their swagger, but there seems to be no panic in their game, right? They're relaxed, they're calm out there, and that serves you so well.
That's one of the best serves we've seen today from the Sheriff. Just hits the sideline, but it's comfortably sided out through the seam, and not much you can do there, Qatar. Samoilov Smedins have the red dot next to their name. They're next up after the Estonians. Get up, Marty!
Really nice effort from Noah to try and deal with that, but Mark slam dunking it to the sand. Yeah, and a little bit of crunch time here for Alex and Giannis. They'll maybe have one more shot at it, but man, all these points for Novak Tazar not going to help the case of Latvia.
No. Latvia look like they might be settling for fourth place. They played some sensational volleyball. Oh, big sky ball. How about that? 2 minutes ago, it looked like they were going out. Now they're sitting at the challenger end, ripping the sky ball, saying we're comfortably through. Well, Samoilov Smedins, this is their big moment. Samoilov's on the turn. Dunk. What a cover!
Oh,
Smedins.
my goodness. Unbelievable cover from Giannis, but it was just right in that tweener zone where Alex didn't know if it was going to go into the net or not, and it just dropped to the sand.
Well, the look on Samoilov's face tells you everything. He thinks that is it, done and dusted, but I believe that they're going to have one more chance, just more sky balls. I mean, they're not even guaranteed through to the next round, but they're putting on a show. Big play, what a serve, but it's not quite there. 26 seconds. I still think they can get through, especially with what we've seen the last couple of days. Yanis Smedins needs to rip an ace.
And then they're going to need some service errors again to come to their aid. That will unfortunately do it, though.
Sad for the game. Samoilov Smedins have been great entertainment the whole week. They will take fourth place, but my word, the young Chileans and Estonians, Qataris have been on point all the way to finish it. Samoilov and Smedins have had an incredible run, but they will have to settle for fourth place. It will not be a place on the podium for them today, and they will have to settle for fourth, but I think they're going to be pleased with that, especially as they were in the playoff today, especially as it looked like they were going out of the playoff with about 10 seconds left.
Indeed it did. Yeah, great performance from the Lion King. Two of the best entertainers we have in the sport, and they really showed some fine form all weekend long. It's a little bit of a shame to dismiss them before they got on the podium, but such a difficult final here and a great result for them nonetheless.
Well, there's the results, not the final results. Remember, the final three coming our way in just a moment, but we say goodbye to Alexander Samoilovs, Yanis Smedins, former European champions, second best European team ever on the world tour. I just have to phrase that correctly because it's a long sentence. And just two of the best guys in the sport.
Yeah, indeed, and they were so fun to watch. I mean, so many high volleyball IQ plays being made out there on the side of the Latvians. It's just kind of a master class every time you get to watch them play the game of beach volleyball.
Absolutely joy to watch, and there's a full crowd in here watching as well. Top still off at around 7 o'clock local time. I will not be having the pleasure of that in the next couple of days. You might be. Well, Ricardo Vento in the crowd, the head coach of Julie Suda and Izzy Schneider. As we're just waiting for, I would say, the word on the street is we're waiting for one more person to arrive at the interview. And I would say that's Yanis Smedins.
Yeah, you can see Alex down there ready to let loose.
Yeah, Yanis is still sat in the box. He's not even moved. You can see him in the green, just on the left of your screen. Yanis, you're supposed to be in the interview, big fella.
There he is.
Come on, Yanis. Get up off the seat and come down and have an interview with our guy Julius Brink. Come on. Take in all the scenery. we have to be. We've only got so much time on air, Yanis. And it's only going to be Alexander Samoylov. Yanis Shvedins has been the first ever athlete to boycott an interview at King of the Court.
Yeah, we're down with Julius and the Lion King.
Yeah, Alexander's, I mean, the long journey comes to an end, eh? But first of all, where's your partner?
Fourth place, wooden medal. The worst can be for players.
Do you sum it up like that? Is it so hard?
I hate being fourth. It's the worst. I think it's better to be eliminated in the semi-final rather than play in the final and be one step away from podium. And yeah, it's going to be only the worst. We had our chance, we didn't use it. We made a lot of mistakes.
Got you. But probably tomorrow morning you might have a better feeling. Let's talk about these 50 minutes. It seems like the other three seemed, from a certain moment on, kept blocking you. You almost had no chance. Then they started the skyball thing, taking away the time. Did you feel it like that?
It's always like this. When you play, you need to eliminate one team, and then other three teams, they feel like, okay, so who is the sheep in this crowd? So who are wolves? And the wolves try to eat sheep. So the strategic part of this, not to be at the end, not to be the last. Otherwise, it's even harder to win.
But you're the Lion King. Usually that happens to others, right?
I know. So that's why there were three. It was the only chance to them.
So I know, as you told me, you had to rebook your flight. So was it worth to play here, King of the Court? Tell me, honestly, and never say no.
Actually, I love like beach volleyball and King of the Court format. I'm enjoying the moment, but I just hate losing. So now you ask me what it was, I said no.
Okay.
But we were so close.
Yeah, you were. Thanks for coming over. Let's see what the final brings. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's enjoy the final. Really strong, good teams.
Thanks, Alexander.
Well, Yanis Shvedins looking over his shoulder with a little smirk on his face, knowing farewell, he's just dodged an interview. Yes, Yanis, you. Well, always great to hear from Sasha Samoylov anyway. It's getting a bit rash down there.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the ironies in life that Giannis has such great, insightful, funny things to say, but he never wants to share it out loud, right, in interview format. And unfortunately, another irony is that we've enjoyed watching the Latvians play all weekend so much, but we have to say goodbye to them. Our podium finishers are set. We've got Chile, we've got Qatar, we've got Estonia, but in which order, Louis?
Champions of the King of the Court Finals 2022 in January, Doha. Qatar get us underway. Olympic bronze medalist slapped into the angle from the Sheriff. And then we have Estonia, who have been just for sure the most entertaining team. So much chat online about how they're using the rules to their benefit, let's put it that way, and they're doing it great.
A little bit of confusion here. Sharif thought he got that off of Mark Tazar. Mark Tazar and the referees saying there was no touch.
Big serves expected. Chile, how well have they done, Richie? Reading that game really nicely from Novak. It's a cut shot. Tomahawk over on one, but you can't go to sleep against Estonia. Chile very much alive and alert, and there's a handling error against the Estonians, and then Chile come back down. That would be a surprise package if Chile come all the way through the playoffs to win here today.
It would be a surprise of sorts, right? It would be kind of a surprise on paper, but for those of us who have had the opportunity to watch them throughout, it would be not a surprise.
Not a surprise. And for us on the opening day in the qualifications, we were not surprised to see him go through. Ahmed Tajan, help yourself, a buffet ball.
The one-arm layout scoop. Great set from Sharif and the delivery from Ahmed Tajan.
And the one thing you don't want to do is let these boys catch fire, because we've seen it before. King of the Court Finals 2021 season, but in 2022 in Doha, they just went crazy. Ahmed Tajan on that day just sided out like a champ.
Absolutely, yeah. They were riding the home crowd and got that title in convincing and very exciting fashion. Would love to do a repeat of that here in Miami Beach. I know they both love the energy of the city, and certainly the energy that the full grandstands and Skybox Stadium are bringing.
Yeah, we've said it a million times, but you have a look around and you see the crowd, full grandstand, sunset now, Miami Beach, no wind really. It's probably the stillest conditions of the week.
Yeah, it's just delightful out here right now. Perfect conditions for beach volleyball, and this is really a treat because it's such high level. How about that? The hang and delay drag knuckle.
That's the thing, they have a system for everything. You serve them short inside to try and upset the rhythm and stop their sort of funky plays. Then they just run to the pin on 2 with Martizar high off the hands. Let's go. Estonia starting to make a case. Martizar has had a hip injury, hardly played for the last 3 months.
Yeah, we heard him yesterday talk about taking 3 months off with no training and having to come back from that. He seems to be better than ever, and I think those were maybe even his own words. That one just missing the end line for Ahmed Tijan.
Well, 6-1 that jumps so high as Novak again, just so smart, looks at the defender. No, he's just parked solidly in the sand, so he just shoots the line.
Sneaking that one by Sharif. Sharif going up big for the shot. Just a little bit of a flattened out slappy from Kosti Novak.
Big serve. And out of system. I mean, is it?
Yeah, that one.
Thumb up from Kosti Novak on the way through. Guilty as charged, John King.
I suppose one of the byproducts of being so good with your hands like Kosti Novak is knowing when you're not good with your hands, and that was not good by his standards or anybody else's.
Ahmed Tijan's service pressure up there with the best. As with 3 teams left, it really does move quickly, doesn't it?
Moves quickly. It becomes a little bit of a, was that in? That was in, straight down on the sideline. Big Martizar.
That was maybe one of the biggest blocks we have seen in the entire competition.
Yeah, that ball absolutely hit the sand before Ahmed Tijan did. Yeah, it's fast-paced with 3 teams. There's no time to catch your breath, and the lactic acid starts to build up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. But at the moment, Estonia with 6 on the board and making a good case for this. Last 2 events, Novak's played with Dmitry Korotov, big young gun from Estonia, but now they're stopped in their tracks. Best blocker in the competition has just popped up again. Best blocker at 6'3", but you speak a lot about the likes of Robbie Seidel. Smaller, but gets the hands in the right place.
Yeah, he's so disciplined up there, Vicente Droguet, and blocking on the beach is such a, I don't know, a difficult task, right? There's so many little nuances to it, and at such a young age, Vicente has so much skill at that blocking skill, I guess, to be repetitive.
The Sheriff serving, applying to the middle. Interesting to see what Noe has from there, and that's a really good swing because he has to move into the center and to open up the elbow really far back gives him access to the sideline.
Yeah, he is so good away from his body though, isn't he?
Yeah, ridiculous. And I think if anyone asks me what I think is a big secret in this game, that's a big secret.
It really is.
If you can be good away from the body, everything opens up from that.
And how about that right there? Great one-handed scoop from Kosti Novak, and then the shoot set to him right out on the pin.
Huge play. Could it be their day? Estonia winning the Kings of Miami.
Certainly through the first 6 minutes, it appears that way, but we saw some late inning heroics in the second round to keep their hopes alive from the young Chileans, and we know what Ahmed Tijan and Sharif are capable of.
That's 2 missed serves. 1 more would be a point. And in to a good spot with the set. What a set from Kosti Novak. At times, we've seen him in system so often, but out of system, when you roll the ball into that spot, perfect.
Yeah, and even had a little bit of tempo on that, so it was almost an in-system set, even though it was coming from the end line.
Qatar receiving. They need to get their skates on a bit, but the serves are heavy. Heavy artillery from Chile, who have made themselves very proud. The win probability on your screen right now favors Qatar. That's a potent little float serve. At least a standing float serve, but he's going for it.
Indeed, yeah, and going from well behind the end line to give it a little bit more depth, a little bit more weight. That's 3 in a row, I believe. So that will be point number 2 for Qatar.
You have to go for it though. It's the final, and the service pressure that you pack is key to success, as Ahmed Tijan just leaves his arms out there for days.
Okay, that's now 5 in a row, but 2 in a row on the second grouping of 3.
Ahmed Tijan saying, come on boys, let's go. Short ball, lovely serve from Estonia, but maybe the move into the angle a little bit early from Kosti Novak gives the game away for the knuckle over the top of the block.
Perhaps, yeah, but you know, a nice play from Qatar. Not easy to maintain your rhythm when you are facing 5 service mistakes in a row.
Concentration is so important throughout those times. Let's go, Kosti Novak. Fans in the crowd gunning for Qatar out there. Novak goes deep, but it's another missed serve. 7:15, 2:14 away from the 5-minute break. Can Estonia be stopped? It doesn't look like it at the moment, but there's plenty of time for everybody else to get back into this.
Oh my goodness. How high was that, Louis led?
Higher than I could ever imagine.
Mark Tazar is up there huge, and Sharif just went over the top of his hands.
Over the top of Mark Tizar. And Mark Tizar is 6'9". He is no gnome. Oh, blocking. The block from the Sheriff there was outstanding. He hit the net, but he had to go for it. But the read he made, and then the execution with the hands on another level.
Yeah, really a nice swing from Mark Tazar, kind of turning the wrong way for a right-hander and still getting good wood on that. And that a great pass on the short serve from Kosti Novak.
The Sheriff need to get back down there. A couple of points now for Estonia before the break would be an absolute dream. Reverse butter! No! Ahmed Tijan! Stop it with your cutting! Stop it with your digging! Let's go!
And Kosti Novak gives him a high five on the way through, respecting the effort. Great, unbelievable speed, in fact, from Ahmed Tijan on the pursuit there.
Maybe one of my favorite plays of this entire week.
It was so quick, wasn't it, that back overset on 2?
And it's those small things that might be the difference here. Maybe not, because Estonia have made a break straight back, and they're back to the King's End. The level here is incredible. Go to the other pin, they're running to the middle. No one quite knows how to play this. That is so good that he passes to the other antenna, and then the blockers are we going wide? Are we staying inside? What's happening?
Yeah, we talk about the hands of Kosti Novak a lot, but Mark Tazar can really locate the ball with his hands as well, right? And it keeps that offense varied, and it keeps it in rhythm.
Pass in. No real moves from that position because the pass is off the net, but they do get another one, and they're on 11 points with 4:52 on the clock. It's the 5-minute break. Estonia, is it going to be their day? It certainly looks like it at this moment in time.
Yeah, agreed. It's a tall task for Ahmed Tijan and Sharif, and of course Aravan and Droget to come all the way back, as Estonia just 4 points away from the title here in Miami Beach.
Well, Perisic Finer giving a little bit of a pep talk there to Novak Tizar as we have a look at Kosti Novak. For me, there's been a lot said about these funky plays. Where does it fit within the rules? And his hands are perfection. But the rest of his game is so creative. It's hard not to be impressed with him.
Yeah, and he told us yesterday in a post-round interview that he kind of has an ability to see everything going on around him, and that's very apparent in the way he plays the game. So much vision.
I can't even do that in real life.
Yeah, right. My periphery, you know, the number of times I stubbed my toe walking around my own apartment. Yeah, just such tremendous volleyball acumen from Kosti Novak and, of course, Mark Tazar. And with all that chatter and speculation and really adulation for the things he's done overhand in this tournament, it would be great to see them finish it off with a win here.
They really would. They would certainly deserve it. It would give them a little bit of a confidence kick towards the World Tour season that starts very soon. Mark Tizar, Kosti Novak are trendsetters, trailblazers, call them what you want, but they are yeah, moving in the right direction. Kolo Vesik, a big team from Estonia back in the day. And they are carrying the torch now. Rivo Vesik now the one of the head coaches of Bruno Hubli.
Indeed, yeah. One of the top teams on the women's side. Unfortunate to not have them here in this competition, both kind of rehabbing from some little injuries, and hopefully they will do so quickly.
Yeah, the Swiss women's program haven't had a lot of luck with the injuries, have they?
Certainly, well, yeah, there's no need to go into what happened at the World Championships, one of the more sort of gruesome scenes, unfortunately. But it looks like Anouk and Joe are on kind of the other side of that and doing well so far, and we hope that's the case, certainly.
How can you not have a good time here? Everyone in here smiling, clapping, bouncing around. Everyone in the commentary box bouncing around, going crazy for it.
Here we go, 4 points away as we kick off after the timeout. Can Estonia close it out here in decisive fashion?
Yeah, 4 will do it. That's a perfect start, though. The guitar, boys!
Are you kidding me? He got that down.
The sheriff is saying no. Ahmed is showing no. We don't have a challenge. This is the craziest thing we've ever seen.
Are we going to see a
that's
replay? Do we have a replay,
Do
Louis?
we have a replay? Because I have never seen it. We haven't got a replay. Sharif is looking for us, and Sharif is saying, well done. Here we go. Oh, it's up.
Yeah, it did look like it got armed.
He's already on the other side of the court. He's already got that, Ahmed.
That was phenomenal. Phenomenal effort from Baltazar, and just kind of indicative of the special type of play we've seen from them all weekend long. He tried to do it to the left, he tried to do it to the right. This time comes up a little bit short.
Was that the best play we've ever seen at King of the Court? I think for me it's the best play I've ever seen.
Okay, we do, in the first edition of the King of the Court, we had the bicycle kick from Alex Horst. Pretty hard to out-kick that, so to speak, right? But that is a very, very close second, I would say.
Service from Novak, they're chasing 3 here. And what a play. Oh, off the outside of the hand. Maybe Chile can push a little bit here. That was wild. That's gonna take me a while to get over.
Still, the heart rate still high after that play, and we're just standing here watching it.
And funny enough, the content team have put a camera on us for the final session because they want to run some content. And yeah, they've got us good, going crazy in the box. But anyway, back to the action, off the head. See you later. Chile now, maybe. They have to get kicking here. They have to keep the pressure on the other 2 teams. Sharif, big play down the middle.
How about that lefty swing to the baseline from Noe, and that gets them in front of Ahmed and Sharif, who now have the red dot. If Estonia manages to close this out soon, that could have been pivotal for Chile and a chance to score again.
Oh, jump setting reverse. And that play there, to chip back with the play that quick is not easy.
Not easy. They got Baltazar to take the bait, but unable to close.
Oh, big one off the net band. And now it's a funny game, this, isn't it? Because Estonia had all this rhythm. They couldn't do anything wrong. But since the break, they've actually struggled to get rhythm. The service pressure against them has been pretty intense.
Well, yeah, they did come up with the second most amazing play we've ever seen in King of the Court history. And then, besides that,
judged by Rich Lamborn.
Yeah.
2 minutes left in the Miami King and Queen of the Court. And we think it's going Estonia's way, but something special has to happen for Qatar or Chile to catch them. Novak going for that short ball again, trying to take away some of the rhythm and the angles, and it's a high rip. Yeah, this time, don't get too excited, the Sheriff, because, well, we've seen you get too excited before.
You got to beware the early celebration at times. Great swing hard into the angle from Sharif. Droget, our best blocker in this entire tournament, had him lined up, it looked like, but lefty can always come up with more angle from that right side.
Ahmed Tajan also going away from the body. Touch is coming over lefty, and now is their chance.
They tried to pay it back right there, Louis.
That would be very, oh wow, could you imagine? Very close, they got the dig, didn't they? 3 will do it then for Novak Tizar. What a touch, no way. Oh, looks to squeeze one sharply to no avail.
Tried to be a little too precise with that one, just barely missed, and now 2 points away. 1 point away now. 39 seconds on the clock. Can Estonia close it out?
This has been amazing. Miami has been the perfect host, but it's not going to be now. Big serve.
And how critical is this now, Louis? This is for second or third on the podium as Estonia has wrapped up the title, certainly. That's a freebie.
That is a freebie, and maybe, I don't know where the longest stay is. I've got so caught up on all of this excitement. The longest stay is gone.
Noah with a chance. Go ahead, kid. That's the softie.
Who takes second is the question.
And look at, they just sealed it. They just sealed it with that. The red dot on Sharif and Ahmed Tijan. How about that? More late inning heroics in this King of the Court format. How about it? And a great play to finish. But what an effort right there from Aravena Droget.
And it's Estonia that take it. They are the kings of Miami. Flowing. And they've conquered some of the best teams in the world in one of the strongest draws we've had for a while. It's another big step in the impressive career and improvements of Mark Tizar and Kusti Novak, improving all the time, flamboyant, exciting, consistent.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they're so creative, but you said the word consistent, and I couldn't agree more with that. They give you such variety, but they're so good with all forms of that variety. They take the title here, probably the most talked about team because of a lot of the theatrics and a lot of the overhand kind of unorthodox plays we saw out of Kusti Novak in particular, but just great, extremely high-level volleyball throughout, and they came up with spectacular stuff in the final and took it running away.